Hey everybody, Shisani here. Baby girl and I are here. It has been a journey, an experience, a challenge at the least to say. It's been a mess trying to get this information to you, but we're here, we're doing it messy, and today I'm going to talk to you about 5 important steps you can take to make sure that your next website project goes smoothly. So, once again, quick intro in case any of you are watching this and don't know who the heck I am. My name is Jasani, and I'm a virtual bookkeeper turned website strategist. And at this point, I'm just like a full-blown marketing nerd. My goal is to help you market your bookkeeping business with confidence. So I focus on the website side of things. My goal and like my role in this is to help you launch a website that you can be proud to send potential clients to. And I'm a work from home mom of three. They're all under 5, so it's a zoo here. Um, I have 2 sons, 4 and 2, and 6-month-old baby girl who's with me right now. So quick backstory into how I got into this. I went to school for accounting and business. I knew for sure that after I got out of school, I was going to be a tax preparer. I loved the idea of having those busy seasons and then having the rest of the time to just live my life. So that's what I thought I was going to do. And I took the bookkeeper business launch course so that I can help support my mom with her business. So I intended for her to be my only client and just to help her with her books because her and finances do not mix well at all. And I wanted to be able to help her and then do like taxes and stuff on the side so that I can work from home. But shortly after I survived my first cleanup, so my mom was my only client, I did a cleanup with her. And after I survived that, I realized I did not enjoy the work at all. Like I did not like the hassle of going back and forth trying to hunt people down for information. I'm saying people, but it was really just my mom. I didn't enjoy that. So power to you guys for being able to do that. But the spread, like answering, like having the spreadsheet questions and going back and forth and waiting months and months to get answers, I didn't like it. But I realized that I did like the actual like marketing side of building my business. And since that was something that I saw a lot of people in the like our Facebook communities needing help with, I decided to just shift to marketing for bookkeepers instead. And it's about 3 years in, and I haven't looked back. Love it, love it, love it. So, what we'll be covering today are 3 reasons why some websites are a waste of money, 5 things to look out for and think about when you're outsourcing your website project, and questions to ask when meeting with website designers. So, if you're going to outsource, then I'm going to give you some important questions to ask and kind of explain the reasoning behind it so that you can kind of vet people because they're so that you can vet the people that you hire so that you don't end up going with somebody that's not a good fit for you. And of course, at the end, if you decide that you would like some ongoing marketing support, I'll talk about how you can do that. So, anybody can make and launch a website. What I need help with is finding clients. Those are the exact words a bookkeeper told me a while back. And for a while, like I was offended at first, kind of like if somebody was like, oh, any of you just do bookkeeping, anybody can do bookkeeping. And you kind of feel like, oh no, it's a lot of work that goes into it. Like it really stuck with me because it's true actually, because anybody can build and launch a website, but not everyone can build and launch a website that works. And that helps you attract your dream client, which is at the end of the day, that's the goal, is you want to attract clients. So a lot of bookkeepers and business owners in general, honestly, invest a lot of time if they're doing it themselves and a lot of money when they outsource, but not all of them see a return on their investment. And I feel like there are 3 reasons why this happens. So the first reason is unclear messaging. So you're not sure about your marketing message yet, and your message is the foundation of your bookkeeping website, honestly, because it's how your audience and potential clients are going to connect with you, how they're going to learn like who you are, what you do, like and why it matters, and how you can help them. And writing the text for your website, like marketing term, we say the copy, but essentially, so the text for your website can be super, super overwhelming and stressful if you don't have a background in marketing. So this is where professional copywriting comes in. The second reason I see people not getting a return on their investment is because if you're like a lot of new bookkeepers that I work with and that I know, you might be tempted to cut costs and cut corners by building your own website or asking a creative friend or family member to kind of help you or do it for you, or maybe even just hiring the cheapest person you find online. And the problem with that is that in the same way that your clients can know about QuickBooks or Xero and know their way around the software, it doesn't make them a bookkeeping or accounting professional. So in that same sense, having a website building tool isn't going to make you a designer, because you're not going to have those best practices and like the fundamentals down. You're not going to have knowledge of that, and at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. And at the end of the day, like, your website is more than just looks. And one of the most important statistics that I know of and found when it comes to website design is that first impressions are 94% based on design, which is a lot. So while anyone can build a website that looks good, every website isn't going to perform well. It's not going to. Every website isn't designed to convert visitors into leads. If you're building an email list of booked calls or even clients. So your bookkeeping website, you want it to make a good first impression and have a good design and user experience. And the reason that I highlight the first impression and professionalism is because you're a bookkeeping professional, and I know this firsthand because I see all of the work you guys are putting in to go through courses, certifications, recertifications. I know everyone just went through a spurt of those QuickBooks Advanced recertifications and all of that. But you guys are working hard. You know your stuff, and you don't. The last thing I want for you guys is to put all this money, time, energy in expanding your knowledge and education just for someone to go to your website and feel like you're not a professional when we both know that you are. So in addition to the design, the user experience needs to be good too. And when I say user experience, I'm referring to how people feel when they the technical part of the site. So it needs to be user friendly, and user friendly is especially important on mobile devices, so cell phones, tablets, because if your website takes forever to load on mobile, people are just going to get frustrated and leave. They're not going to have the patience to sit there and wait for the website to load up. So this is where the knowledge of website design best practices come in, because that's going to separate the people that know how to build a pretty website to a website that's fast and that works and helps you reach your goals. And the third reason I see websites end up being just a waste of money is a lack of traffic. And traffic is just the people coming to your website. So even if your website has a crystal clear marketing message and a great design, it's not going to matter if nobody can find it. You're trying to get clients. So if they can't find it, then all of that was for nothing. So just launching your website isn't going to automatically start bringing new clients in. So it's really important to think about how you're going to market your site. So this could be posting on social media. It could be writing articles and blog posts. It can be sending email newsletters if you're building an email list of potential clients, which I do recommend that you do. It can even be networking in person. I'm an introvert, so you're not going to really see me at any networking events for a while. But if you're an extrovert and you're comfortable getting out there and getting face-to-face time with potential clients, then that's a way to drive traffic to your website too. A couple other things would be creating video and audio content. So maybe YouTube videos, podcasts, even these little pre-recorded presentations like I'm doing now, and investing in paid ads. So this is where a well thought out marketing strategy and implementation come in, because it's one thing to build a site, have your messaging, and it's another thing to put it all together with a cohesive marketing strategy. So just want to share a quick example from one of my clients, Kate, and I love her. She's the sweetest. Kate reached out to me initially because she built her website herself, and she was paying money for Google ads, and she was getting a ton of traffic, but they weren't converting, and it was because of the design on the site. So we worked together to make her website more mobile friendly so that people wouldn't get frustrated with the site speed. And we just made it so that it would easily help her attract her ideal clients from Google. So making sure everything was matching so that when people visited her site, it was because that's where they needed to be and they needed to book a call with her. So I just wanted to share that quick example to show you that you need all three moving pieces together. You can't have a good design, or you can't have, in this example, you can't have a bunch of traffic but then have a bad design, because then all of that traffic is just going to bounce back and not get you the results you want. So all three of these things, all three of those components go hand in hand. You can't really have one or two without the other. Okay. So when you really start to consider all that goes into a successful website, so the clear marketing message, a professional and user-friendly design, and like the marketing strategy and implementation, then you'll kind of understand a bit more that a website is more than just like a virtual business card. And while outsourcing it may seem expensive initially, like a professional website that includes all of those components is you can actually pay for itself within just one new client if you balance it against the potential return on investment. So it's really going to depend on how much you're charging and what your rates are. And that's how you can kind of decide what's going to be a good investment for you. So whether you decide to partner with me, whether you decide to do your own website or hire any type of professional, I just want to share 5 things with you that you need to think about ahead of time so that you can make sure you're setting yourself up for success. Don't touch that, baby. Okay. So the first thing is to think about your requirements. So when it comes to the requirements of your website, think about what do you want your website to actually do outside from just looking pretty and being online. Like what do you want it to do? What are the like 3 to 5 like main features that you want to see? Even if it's not something immediate, but you might want to add it later, it's important to think these things through early on. So if you're doing it yourself, that'll help you make sure you pick a platform that can grow with you so that you're not starting from scratch once you outgrow it. And if you're going to hire out, it's important to communicate this with your whatever website professional you decide to work with so they know that that's on the roadmap later on and can make decisions based on that information. So some examples of like features for your website can be an appointment calendar so that you're not going back and forth with potential clients trying to sort out availability. A live chat option if you have a team. If you don't have a team, I don't know if I'd really recommend this because that whole work-life balance will just be gone, especially if you're like me and have like Facebook or something on your phone and getting those constant notifications. I don't think I could handle that, but that is an option to have like live chat on your website. Client only content. Let's say if you have like a membership or something and you want to have like a restricted page, that's something you can implement. Having a blog or like a resource library for clients or potential clients. Courses, if you decide you want to sell or offer courses on your website. I have a client now that's doing that, and I think it's awesome. I'm super excited for her to see how that goes. And digital products. So if you decide to put together like a bookkeeping checklist, like a monthly bookkeeping checklist, and sell that to clients on your website, that's something you want to think about and make sure that you choose a website platform that can handle that. So I know a lot of you are just starting out now and you're kind of thinking about just getting that first client, putting something out there, but think about where you want your website and your business to be 3 to 5 years from now. The way I like to kind of explain it is like think of your website like a house. It's basically a digital real estate, so you can like logically think of it like a house. Do you want to go through the hassle of moving into a new house every year just to upgrade something, or do you want to just invest in a house that you can call home and just grow into over time? So that's something to consider. Questions to ask if you decide to outsource. Questions to ask a designer would be how easy it'll be to add any features later. You want to make sure that even if you don't do something now, that it's not going to require you starting from scratch later on if you want to add it later. Another question would be to ask, like, what platform do they use and why? I'll be honest with you, the platform doesn't matter too much when it comes to this because if you're hiring someone to build a site, they're going to it's normal for them to use their tools the same way you wouldn't want a client coming to you saying, I know you use QuickBooks, but I want you to use Xero or FreshBooks or Wave. You wouldn't want that. So let the designer choose their tools. The important thing to listen to when it comes to this is asking why they choose that tool to make sure that it's a good fit for your business. Are they using it because that's just the one they're comfortable with? And that's the only reason they're recommending it to you? Or is it because they do believe that's a good solution for you? Because I do have clients or potential clients or people that come to me wanting a website, and I know that my platform of choice isn't the best fit. So I let them know some other like places they can go or other options that they have because you want to make sure they're choosing something that's the right fit. So my answer to that is WordPress. I use WordPress. I swear by it. I've tried like other platforms and I always go back to WordPress now. The reason behind that is that it's robust and it's scalable. And the way I kind of like explain it or compare it to, I would compare it to like QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is once again robust and scalable, has a ton of features, and it's a rare chance of your like one of your clients outgrowing it. So it's not something that they'd have to start over from scratch if they decide to, if their business grows and starts scaling. So other platforms like GoDaddy, Wix, Squarespace, they're all great for people building their own site. Um, I would compare that to like something like FreshBooks or Wave, so it's easy enough for your clients to use in DIY. But if their business gets to a certain point, then they outgrow it, and you need to migrate them over or do a conversion anyway. So that's something to consider. Yep. Okay. The next thing is investment. Thinking about the investment that you want to make in the site. And when I say think about the investment, don't just think about, oh, this is my budget. This is how much I'm willing to pay for it. I'm going to like take it a step further and think about the investment you want to make in your site in relation to how many clients it would take or how long it would take to see a return. So, for example, I'll take one of my clients, Vanessa. Vanessa got 4 new consultations booked in just 30 days after we launched her new website together. And so when you think about it in that sense, and all of those like leads ended up being clients later, which I think is awesome. But think about like, what would 4 new clients be worth to you? And would that be worth X amount in like paying for the website? Think about even just one client at your minimum monthly rate. So if you have like set packages or already know what your monthly rate is, how long would it take to see a return on investment based on how much the website cost? So thinking about it that way will help put things into perspective. So questions to ask a designer would be what payment plans are available. As bookkeepers, like monthly recurring revenue is your bread and butter, like unless you're specializing in cleanups or things like that. But for most of you, monthly recurring revenue is where it's at. So thinking if you're talking to a website professional and you want to know what type of payment plans they offer, because if you're getting paid monthly, but you need to do their only option is like a one lump sum, that's going to like be a big hit to your cash flow because that's a lot of money you're paying up front. So if you're able to break the investment over a few months and kind of spread it out a bit, it'll make it more feasible for you. So ask about what payment plans are available and see if it works for your budget. And another question to ask, which is super, super important, is how, like, after the website is paid off, who's going to own it? And after, like, as far as ownership goes, we're basically asking who's going to have admin access to the website. So the last thing you need, and I know like it's one of those sucky things in the web design industry, is people hiring someone to build their website, and then they're not giving the client access to the website. So then you're locked in with that developer, whoever built the site. You don't want that. So asking that information up front will save you a lot of headaches down the road, so that you know, okay, even if I launch this website and choose not to work with this person on an ongoing basis, I'm not stuck with them and I don't have to start over from scratch and build a whole new website if I move. So hopefully that makes sense. I kind of compare it to, or I would try to think of it as if you had a client that worked with another accountant or bookkeeper in QuickBooks, but they didn't have access to their QuickBooks file and had to start over to work with you. That would be a big mess and a big headache. So ask about admin access and ownership of the site. And just a quick screenshot for proof, because I was just bragging on Vanessa and how she got 4 consultations booked after launching. This is the email that she sent me, and I was super happy. I know I'm one of those people that don't really believe like people when they're saying, "Oh, my client got this, 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 and this," unless I see proof. So here it is. But another thing to think about when it comes to the investment is that it's possible that the budget you have or the investment that you're willing to spend doesn't match the requirements you asked for. So what happens if you have your end project, like it's a $5,000 project, you have a $3,000 budget. So if in this situation, you would either need to increase your investment a little more or set aside some of the less important requirements for a second phase of the project. So maybe you want to add a course or membership to your site, but it's upping the price to it's beyond your budget right now. So maybe do the initial launch first and then later on add the course on a second phase. You can definitely do that. So that's something to talk to your designer or website professional about too. So instead of asking for discounts, they'll just reduce the scope of work. And if they a red flag, let you know this. So a red flag would be if somebody discounts their work without taking anything off. They're probably going to be upset and kind of just like half do your project because they're not getting paid as much. And in a sense, think of it as if you feel like you're undercharging a client. it's a low chance that you're going to go above and beyond for them if you feel like you're undercharging them. So instead of like nitpicking for discounts, just reduce the scope of work, and that will reduce the price. And hopefully that makes sense. So as far as like a second phase of work goes, a question to ask your website professional will be, what type of support do they include after the initial launch? So, for example, I offer clients like an ongoing website like success plan, so we can make changes and like consulting, looking at website analytics and all that good stuff. And I also offer like one-off consulting and training. So that's something you'd want to ask about and consider, because if after you launch your website you need help or run into something, you want to know that they have your back and that you don't have to go and start over and find somebody else to help you. And that's important to know. It's also good to know if you decide to build your own website, knowing where you can get support. But especially if you hire out, asking about how they can help you after the initial launch. Are they going to just like build the site and kick you out of the nest, or keep helping you? The third thing to think about are your goals. So think about your marketing goals for the website. So I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of SMART goals, but in case you haven't, these are goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So it has a deadline. So a few quick examples of a SMART marketing goal would be, let's say, a 20% increase in website traffic over the next 6 months. Or taking Vanessa's example again, like 4 new scheduled consultations booked from the website in the next 30 days. An increase in email newsletter subscribers by the end of the year if you're building an email list of potential clients. So each of these goals has a specific target and it's measurable. You can measure your traffic, your website traffic by analytics, booked calls. You're going to see the calls come in from Calendly, Dipsado, Acuity, whatever appointment schedule you use. And your email newsletter subscribers, whatever tool you're using for that, or even if you're just using a basic spreadsheet, you'll have a clear indicator of how those things are going. So think about what SMART goals you want to achieve with your website, and then write down at least 3 and think about how you'll be able to measure them. So I gave you those 3. So like traffic, newsletters, and booked calls. But if you think of any more that are important to you, then you want to write those down. And if you're hiring somebody, then you want to ask how the website is going to help them reach their goals. So there are website designers and developers out there that are great at building websites, but they might not have the marketing knowledge or marketing experience to answer those questions. So that's something that you want to ask to kind of weed those people out and vet them. Ask how the website is going to help reach the goals. It needs to do more than just sit online and look pretty. So that's a really important question to ask. And I'm going to take a sip of water because I did a lot of talking. Okay. So the fourth thing, 4 out of 5, we're almost there. So the fourth thing is thinking about communication. So as bookkeepers, I'm sure you know that timely communication is super, super important. I know that a lot of you, like, it takes a long time to onboard clients because you're waiting for them to give you information. It's a lot of back and forth. So streamlining the communication when it comes to you and your website professional is super important. It's going to help you keep your website project, like, help it get done in time within the budget that you agreed upon, so you're not getting charged late fees and things like that, and make sure that it meets all of your requirements. So one of the best things you can do in this case is make sure there's one clear point of contact in your business for the project. So I'm not sure, I'm sure at least some of you work with like nonprofits or like big organizations where you're dealing with like a board of committees and things like that. And I'm sure you know how much a pain in the butt it is to get people to like share feedback or like communicate when it's so many people with opinions and all of that. It's a mess. so yeah, having one clear point of contact will help alleviate those like headaches and frustrations. But I know a lot of you like are so I'm sure that a lot of you are solo. You're a one man, one woman show. Maybe you have like a virtual assistant or something like that, but most often this is going to be you. But if you do have somebody else that you're going to delegate like the communication to when it comes to your website project, it's important that they're clear on the goals and the requirements for the project. Everyone needs to be like 100% on the same page when it comes to this. Lost track on the slides. Yeah, so making sure everyone is on track. If you do have like a team, like a larger team or like multiple people that's going to be looking at the project, like and giving like design feedback and input, then I would recommend like you guys sitting down and arranging a time to meet with them and gather all of the important feedback in like one document, one email, and then passing it on to your website professional. The last thing you want to do is have like every member of your team sending emails sporadically individually, because then some of the communication or information they're doing or giving, it might conflict with what the goal is. Everyone needs to be on the same page, and having like a roundtable discussion and passing the information in one document will make everyone's lives a lot smoother. So, when it comes to communication with your website professional, a website, a question to ask would be, what is their preferred method of communication and what's their process for feedback and revisions? And examples of this would be maybe your website professional rather does phone calls. It could be email, text, messenger app. They might have like a client portal. They might have some type of visual feedback tool that they use. Maybe video calls, Loom, Voxer, or something like that. And it's important to ask this up front, because you want to think about how you work best and how you prefer to communicate. Because if you're one of those people that needs to have like a face-to-face video call to get your thoughts out and kind of brainstorm and share your input, somebody that does mainly email communication or wants everything in writing might not be the best fit for you. You guys are going to butt heads a bit and get frustrated because your communication styles are different. So asking about that will save you a lot of headaches and make sure everyone's on the same page and enjoys partnering together. So for anyone like wondering my method of communication, it's definitely like a email, or yeah, my kids are acting up. Yeah, it's definitely email. I do like blocks of time, do like a video call, like a scheduled video call, and then Loom. I'm not good with unscheduled phone calls because I have kids everywhere. That does not work for me. So in that case, if you were, I kind of just like filtered a few of you out. But if that's the type of communication style you need, then I wouldn't be a good fit for you. But I'd be able to pass you on to somebody who works better that way. So definitely something to think about. How do you prefer to communicate? And ask your website professional how they like to communicate, and make sure you guys are on the same page. The last thing, and maybe one of the most important things, honestly, when it comes to like thinking about your website, is the copy. And the copy is just like the text for your website. It's just like marketing talk. Copy is just text. Think about the copy and content for your website. What do you want potential clients to think and feel when they visit your site? What type of first impression do you want to make? That's what your copy is essentially going to give off. So think about your website as being like, your website design as being like a cover of a book. It looks pretty, it gets your attention, then you open it. If the story is like, if it's a horrible story and doesn't keep your attention, nobody's going to finish the book. The same way, if you have a beautiful website and a beautiful design, but then the words on there are just blah, or nobody understands it, or it's just really generic, you're not going to connect with people and they're not going to be inspired to take action. So while it's not as fun as designing your logo and choosing colors and getting like brand photos and things like that, then it's really one of the most important features of your site, because it has the power to like draw people in and send people straight back to Google to find somebody else to work with. So you really want to make sure that you get it right. Honestly, that's the best way to put it, is that make sure you get it right. So it can be really tempting to write the copy yourself, but unless you have like a background in marketing and copywriting and sales, it'll be better to just hire a copywriter. So that way they can clarify the marketing message for you and write it in a way for your site that makes sense. And even if you're thinking, okay, I don't have the budget to hire a copywriter, you can write it yourself and then have somebody review and edit it and share their feedback. That'll help you optimize it for search engines so that people can find your website more easily on Google. And it'll also help your potential clients connect with your website more and take action to book a call with you. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want people to book calls with you, become clients, so that they can let you handle their bookkeeping and get back to running their business. So questions to ask when outsourcing. Who's responsible for writing the website copy? It might seem like a given, but honestly, like the same way like a lot of bookkeepers don't do taxes, a lot of website builders and website professionals do not handle the copywriting. And I'm one of those people. I'm a very technical person, but copy is a bit more subjective for me, and I do not enjoy it. So I partner with a copywriter on my project. So that's something that you'd want to kind of get out in the open. Ask your professional, your website designer, anyone you're talking to, who's going to be responsible for writing the copy. And if you're going to be responsible for doing it yourself, then what kind of support is included? What type of guidance are they going to give? Are they going to review it? Is it just going to be a copy and paste? Are they going to edit it and make sure it's no typos? You want to kind of get all of that out in the open so that you know what to expect. Another thing to consider is, will the website copy be SEO friendly? And that's if you're outsourcing. If they're doing the copy for you, is it going to be SEO friendly? Do they have any like knowledge or experience writing, making the copy easy for people to find on Google? That's definitely something you want to consider. So I know I just did like a lot of talking and that was a lot of stuff that I shared, but I really do hope that you found it helpful as you plan to hire someone to build your site. But if you only take one thing out of this today, then I want you to take the fact that you need to clarify your marketing message and plan out your website copy before you even think about investing in someone to build your website. That's really the biggest thing. So if you're not sure where to start, I am here to help. That's why I have this group, the newsletter, and that's what I'm here for. So pinned to the top of the group right now is this worksheet. So I understand that like over the years, like I've been doing this for about 3 years now, building websites for bookkeepers. And over these past few years, I'm learning that clients who have to write the website text themselves deal with like one of these two frustrations, if not both. So either the website takes forever to launch because writing the copy feels like pulling teeth, kind of like how if you ask your client, okay, we're onboarding right now, give me all of your information. That's what it's like waiting for people to write the text for the website. It gets overwhelming. You're starting, you don't know what the heck to write, where to put it, what to say, how to say it, and it takes forever to launch because you're waiting on that content. You're waiting to get the documentation that you need to do the project. The second thing would be, okay, you finally get all the information or you do it yourself and the website doesn't perform well because you didn't have the guidance to like clarify that marketing message and make it concise and compelling for people to want to read and take action. Those are the two biggest things that I see. So I understand that figuring out what to say on your website is very overwhelming. So that's why I have this workbook pinned to the top of the group. But I'm also putting together some training videos to help clarify your marketing message and answer all of these questions. So some bite-sized training to go through everything in that workbook. This way you'll be able to answer all the questions that people need to know when they visit your site. So my hope and my goal for this is that after you watch the training videos and complete the workbook, that you have everything you need to either like write your own website copy, hire a professional to write your copy. And of course I do have referrals. So if you're at that stage right now and like, I need to hire a copywriter, ask me, I can recommend some awesome people. And even if you, after completing the workbook, if you want to work with me or any website professional in general, you'll be ready to do that. You'll have taken the first step to clarify your marketing message and be ready to hire somebody to do this for you. So, ongoing support. So the workbook is there. The workbook is in the group, is pinned to the top. You can grab that Google document anytime that you want. But if you would like access to those videos and like one-to-one support and ongoing marketing support, then I would like to invite you to join the club. So I'm working on those training videos and we'll be like recording them every week, like once a week. I think it's like 5 main sections that I'm going to be doing and going over. So as I'm building this out, I'm going to be adding it to the marketing member support club area. I probably need to come up with a better name for it, but this is what it is right now. So if you found like all the information I shared today helpful, and if you find the workbook helpful, but maybe you feel like it's a bit overwhelming and you need a bit more support in working on it, then I would love for you to join the club. So it's marketingforbookkeepers.com/membership if you want to go ahead and check that out. And of course, when you join the club, you'll also get like weekly group calls with me. We do this every Monday at 10 a.m. EST. I'm in Maryland, so Eastern Standard Time. And the purpose of the weekly calls is really accountability. So we're setting our marketing goals, getting feedback on any projects that you're working on, sharing resources, celebrating your wins when you get a client, when you get a new subcontracting job, like celebrating those wins, even the small ones, because every small one matters. They lead up to the big ones. And of course, answering questions, and it's a safe, judgment-free space. A lot of us, I started this off like just for like moms specifically, but I am opening it up. So kids kids are welcome. Like mine is always with me. She's asleep now, but it's really laid back and it's really fun. Of course, in addition to like the weekly calls, you get lifetime replay access to any future presentations and trainings I do. I'm trying to face my fear of being on video, so I do plan on doing this more often and doing different topics. I'm thinking of doing like an SEO and like lead generation, email marketing, like type of presentation like this in the future, hopefully over the next few months. So any replays will be added to the group. Well, added to that membership area. Also, members. They're fighting over a tablet. Also, members only a 10% discount on one-on-one consulting calls. So while the video trainings are new, I'm just now adding video trainings to this whole membership thing. But I've been doing these these group calls, these weekly group calls. I've been doing this for well over a year now. So here's some like testimonials from people who have been in it. I'm just sharing 3, but here's what people have been saying about it so far, just with the weekly calls. So first one, shout out to Dominique. Dominique is had to do a quick pause there and handle a tantrum, but back to Dominique. Dominique is my friend. She is my client, and we've been chatting on these calls for months. So I've been seeing her progress, and it has been wonderful. So here's what she said. Chatting with Trisani feels like chatting with a longtime friend. She helps me with my website and general support when it comes to my virtual business. I love the support I get from her during weekly virtual meetups, emails, and direct messages. I truly love and appreciate her passion, patience, and her heart. And I love Dominique. She is the sweetest. I really do. And yeah, so when you're doing these weekly calls, I'm not one of those people that are like, okay, this is our time, don't talk to me afterwards. Like I welcome text messages. I text a few people. When it comes to like their marketing, we can do text messages, emails, direct messages to share your wins in between those weekly calls. It's really like one-to-one and personal outside of the weekly calls. So I'm really here to support you. Let's see. Another one is from Rebecca. Rebecca said that she looks forward to the weekly meetups for bookkeeping moms. Once again, I started off with joining just bookkeeping moms, so that's why she had that in there. And she joined because she was struggling like with that work-life balance, which a lot of us do. I'm not going to say we all do. Some of you have mastered it, and I'm a bit jealous of you, but I'm pretty sure we're on our way to getting there. But yeah, it's really just a laid-back, fun experience. She said that I was a warm and welcoming person who is knowledgeable in my field, and I really do appreciate that. I try to be warm and welcoming as much as I can. And she said she recommends the group to others who want to collaborate. So at the end of the day, it's all about collaboration and accountability. The membership is not about learning new things specifically, because all of the like marketing resources and stuff is in the free group. So the membership and the weekly calls are more for accountability and taking the free stuff that I share in the group and putting it into action. So if you're looking for like a course or some type of like in-depth detailed program with a strict like curriculum, this isn't what this is. This is more so like, okay, I'm in business, it gets lonely doing this, and I want to talk about building my business and get tips and feedback and get the kick in the butt I need to do the things I need to do. That's what it's for. And the last one is from Serena, and I think this is funny because we were really just catching up today. She said that I was a warm and kind soul, and that every time we chat together, that she gets a new idea. And she was glad that I stepped into a space that I'm passionate about. And I'm very passionate about this, way more passionate than I was about the actual bookkeeping work. I did not enjoy that at all. So like, I really do respect you guys for being able to like deal with clients in that capacity, and all of the work you guys do. Like, I love my bookkeeper. She is the best. No offense to you guys watching this, but I actually hired a bookkeeper that's in the Bookkeeper Launch Program, Megan, and I love her, and she is wonderful. And like, I wish I would have hired her sooner. So you guys need to attract clients that say things like that about you. Yeah, so that kind of wraps up the presentation. It was originally supposed to be a live, but technology didn't like me today, and I did a 30-minute thing with no audio. So I'm going to post this into the group. And of course, if you think of any questions you have, whether it be about anything I covered in the video about like outsourcing your website and questions to ask, anything like that, or even just questions about whether or not the marketing support club would be a good fit for you. Just brain dump your comments and the questions. I'm going to be checking the Facebook group. I feel like I'm in there all of the time. Definitely in the mornings and evenings. In the middle of the day is normally family time, but I'll be checking the group for questions and answering them one by one. So brain dump any questions you have. I'm always happy to help. So once again, I hope you found this helpful. If you decide to join the membership, I would love to see you in there next week and talk about your business and like what your goals are and how I can help you reach them. So yeah, right on around the 40-minute mark, I'll go ahead and let you guys go and look forward to talking to you soon and seeing you around in a group. Bye guys.